I'm gonna hit.
Okay.
Rocco, best name ever, Rocco.
So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
So how's everything going, guys? Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
oh, happy to be here.
yeah. We just premiered the film in a New York City theater last night, and so we love the audience reactions. And what we found is anyone who takes the time to see it, it's only 90 minutes.
Yeah.
They're transformed almost emotionally and intellectually. They learn some science. They feel new levels of empathy. They think differently and in new ways about a social contract, and perhaps they'd never considered that by being part of a society, you're agreeing to a social contract implicitly.
Yeah. It was cathartic. It was a cathartic feeling. Cathartic feeling.
I agree.
It was really a great honor.
Yeah, like the thing I wanted to ask you is, like, I know some people that health world, jobs with that, like a lot of them don't like talking about certain things. Like how did you wind up getting so many different workers in the health field to do the film?
Appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Paul Offit was the first person.
And just to be clear, I had nothing to do with any of that.
No,
because he's the filmmaker, the writer, producer, director, and I was brought in after all of that just to help sharpen some of the communication channels. So it's all him.
So just for the record, you're saying I'm the filmmaker. So I contacted Dr. Paul Offit first, and this is actually a lovely mini metaphor in how he dealt with me. He checked me out. He didn't say, you're a filmmaker, put a camera on me, ask me anything you want. He did his homework and he watched my films. And he said, oh, I see that you treat people humanely and you respect science, you respect verifiable truth. And then he was so generous with his time and introduced me to so many amazing people. And even somebody like Nurse Belima Marcus, she did the same thing. She didn't just say, sure, I'll open up my world to you just because you called and say you have a camera.
It wasn't just one interview.
That's right. World. That's right. She checked me out.
Is she the one whose parents?
No, that's Karen. That's Karen Ernst.
Karen Ernst got her parents. Yeah. So getting all up in their families.
So you are right, and because they were fragile. They were fragile, right? They had lost trust with some journalists. So it was an honor that they allowed me to capture some of their lives.
Oh. Okay. And like, what inspired you to want to write and make the film?
It was probably the defense of science and the shock that when measles could have been eliminated, the film started in 2019, a year before COVID, that measles could have been eliminated from our country. It was moving towards elimination in 2000. So why in 2019 were we seeing it coming back and that dream of elimination drifting away? So that was the start.
But were you combing the landscape for another movie topic, or did it find you?
It kind of found me in two stages where
sorry, I asked him a question. You didn't ask that question. I asked him that question. Sorry.
A wonderful doctor who your audience should know about, Dr. John Schwartzberg, and the organization called the Berkeley Wellness Letter. Look it up on the internet. It does what a wonderful medical newsletter can do. It's a group of doctors that read the science, not dissimilar to you, that vet the science and read the science and then communicate it to the public. But they don't play any sides. They don't play any biases. They try and tell the whole truth. And Dr. Schwartzberg said to me, what's your next film? You really have to take on these anti-vaxxers.
Oh,
this is in 2018.
Oh,
before the measles.
I didn't know that.
But in my wisdom, you're going to love this because you love it when I put my foot in my mouth. In my wisdom, Neil, I said, oh no, they're going to burn out. We don't have to deal with those.
The anti-vaxxers. Yeah.
I was like, they're going to burn out. We don't deal with it.
You idiot.
Thank you. I really love that part. And then cut to 2019, record-breaking measles outbreaks. And then it became a COVID film. We thought we had a fascinating movie just in measles and science and public health and anti-vaxxers and anti-science. And then COVID happened, and the anti-vaxxers that we were following, Robert Kennedy Jr., Del Bigtree, Andrew Wakefield, doubled down. And it just got worse and more complicated and really became a film about our social contract. And what does it mean? What do we mean as a functioning society? What is our role as an individual in the entirety of a functioning society, in a functioning, you always say, not species, planet, since I always say planet,
No,
civilization, right? That we have a responsibility to.
Civilization has implicit rules.
That's right.
Just to say citizen of the planet, we could all just be cavemen running around
True.
randomly.
Yeah.
So
If we choose to be involved in a civilization, where I can get a donut last night in New York City
at any time of night.
Morning,
Yes.
I'm part of that.
Yeah.
That civilization.
Nice. And what did you love most about making the film and showing the film to everyone, like anyone who knows things, like you can actually teach them different stuff about what's going on?
Yeah, what I like about it is, and I don't count myself among the ranks of storytellers, certainly not in this medium. I can tell stories, but I don't think of it visually the way Scott does. In that, there's the human story of families. How did families react to this? How does the education system react to it? He got almost 2 for 1 contained in his wife, who teaches high school in Compton, just outside of Los Angeles. It's
Los Angeles County.
It is Los Angeles County.
South of our
you learn about the medical professionals and what they sacrifice, and the fact that you showed the scene where when the first round of vaccines came in, people were dancing and they were celebrating crying with the shipment of vaccines. And so you look at all of these sub stories within it. You look at the persistent claims of the anti-vaxxers, even in the face of conflicting evidence, and you realize, wow, how does that even sustain itself? And then you look at the mothers who were frightened by giving a vaccine to their children that they believe could have harmed them. There's no greater, more sensitive point in any of our human lives than the active decision to do something for your children that you think might harm them. All right. Oh my gosh. If that's your platform to say, I'm going to protect you against that, of course I'm going to come running. And this explores that and the emotions of it. And even with Lynette, Lynette with the tattoo woman,
where who was very anti-vax and has a change of heart in a big way. With
we see some softening of her earlier posture. And so the film offers hope. It offers hope. And
a warning. It's a warning. And hope.
Yes. It managed to do all of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he pulled it off, but he did.
With your help, my friend.
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. And I noticed the film first was shown at one of the film festivals, the Palm Springs, and it's playing different festivals and everything. And how's the response been from the crowd, like
thank you
film festivals?
Well, I'll tell a tiny backstory on my first.
That's the last. It's 11:43.
Oh, here we go. No backstory.
Sorry. No, we have time. We got time.
We're wrapping up.
Whatever.
It's been an amazing honor. I mean, as a storyteller, especially as a documentarian, you're in your bubble for so long in that editing room trying to figure out, am I making any sense? Am I making any sense here with the film? So to bring it to the world and have this really consistent, emotional, satisfying cinema experience, and I know I'm blowing smoke up my own tush, but I'm describing what the audiences have shared.
I'll say it a different way that's less smoke up your ass. Okay, so it's the satisfaction of knowing that the audience is reacting in exactly the way you had intended as a filmmaker.
My vocabulary is making sense.
Okay. Yeah. And because there are films where the crowd reacts differently, and is that good or bad? I don't know. But when there is a correspondence between your intent, however frustrating you were in your bubble in the editing room, and the crowd, that's got to be satisfying.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think he just complimented me, everybody.
He thinks.
Maybe. We'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on the show. It was great chatting. Thank you.
Excellent. Absolutely. Rocco, that's still the best name ever, Rocco. I want to be named Rocco.
Especially if you're a boxer. Sorry.
Thank you.